Tonight, 3 Christmas stories. The snow started falling just after midnight. Not light flakes, not drifting powder, heavy snow, the kind that erases everything by morning. Cars, footprints, fences. By sunrise, the world is supposed to reset. That's why he noticed it immediately. A dark shape standing near the edge of his yard, between the house and the trees. The snow covered everything, except the place where something had been standing all night. At first, he thought it was a trick of the light, a shadow cast by the porch lamp, a pile of snow shaped strangely by the wind. But shadows don't have edges that sharp, and snow doesn't refuse to fall. He stepped closer to the window. The shape didn't move. Tall, still, vaguely human, and the ground beneath it was bare. No snow, no frost, just dark, exposed earth. The rest of the yard was buried under inches of fresh snowfall, but around the silhouette, the snow formed a perfect outline, like it had been snowing around something solid. He checked the time. 6:41 a.m. The storm had started around midnight, which meant whatever that was had been standing there for hours. He grabbed his phone, zoomed in. The camera struggled to focus. The image blurred, glitched slightly. But one thing was clear. The shape wasn't a tree. He checked the security footage. The night camera showed the snowfall starting, wind picking up, visibility dropping. Then, at 12:03 a.m., something appeared. Not walking, not arriving. It was simply there. The footage skipped slightly, and suddenly the silhouette stood in the yard, facing the house. The snow fell, hour after hour. The shape never shifted, never leaned, never reacted to the wind. Snow piled up everywhere else, but not where it stood. At 2:17 a.m., the porch light flickered for less than a second. When it came back on, the silhouette was closer. Not by much, just a few feet. No walking motion, no transition. It simply occupied a new position. He scrubbed through the footage again. There was no frame showing it move. One moment it was farther away. The next moment it wasn't. At 4:46 a.m., the camera recorded something else. The silhouette's head tilted, just slightly, like it had noticed something inside the house. He shut the laptop, looked back out the window. The silhouette stood exactly where the footage ended, still, waiting. He didn't go outside, didn't open the door. He watched from behind the glass as daylight slowly spread. The snow glistened, the world brightened, and still the snow refused to cover that one spot. Neighbors started waking up. Cars drove by. Snowplows passed. No one noticed the shape. Or maybe they did, and chose not to look directly at it. At 8:12 a.m., the shape was gone. Not walking away, not dissolving. Gone. The snow rushed in. Within minutes, the bare earth disappeared. The yard became uniform again, like nothing had ever stood there. He went outside after an hour. The cold bit through his boots. Snow creaked beneath his feet. He stood where the shape had been. The ground felt wrong, too solid, too warm, as if the earth remembered being occupied. No footprints. Nothing leading to the spot, nothing leading away. That night, it snowed again. Not as heavily, but steadily. He didn't check the window, didn't check the camera. He tried to sleep. At 3:09 a.m., his phone vibrated. A notification from the security app. Motion detected. He didn't open it. He already knew. In the morning, the snow covered everything. Again. Except for one place. Closer to the house this time, right beneath his bedroom window. The silhouette wasn't visible now, but the absence was. A human-shaped void carved out of the snowfall. He moved out 3 days later, left most of his furniture behind. Didn't explain why. The new owners found nothing unusual until the first heavy snowfall of the season. Neighbors say that sometimes, early in the morning, you can see it. A dark shape standing silently in the yard, always facing the house, always in a place where the snow doesn't fall. And if you watch long enough, you'll notice something worse. The snow doesn't avoid it. The snow falls, but the shape is closer than it should be, every time. The blizzard lasted 7 days, not hours, not a night. 7 full days of snow, wind, and white silence. Roads vanished, power lines snapped, entire neighborhoods went dark. Search and rescue teams worked in shifts. Snowmobiles, drones, thermal scanners. House after house was buried. Some roofs collapsed, some doors were frozen shut. On the 8th morning, they found the house, standing, intact. A single chimney poked through the snow. Smoke rose slowly into the gray sky. That was the first problem. No other houses had power. No gas lines were functioning. No generators had survived the storm. And yet, the house was warm. They dug out the front door. Snow packed tight against the frame. No signs of recent movement. No footprints. The door opened easily, too easily. Inside, the lights were on, not flickering, not dim, bright, steady, like nothing had happened outside. The heat hummed softly through the vents, comfortable, normal. After a week of freezing temperatures, it felt wrong. The kitchen table was set, 4 plates, 4 glasses, food untouched, still warm. Steam curled slowly from a pot on the stove. A clock on the wall read 6:17 p.m. It ticked. Every other clock in town had stopped days ago. They called out, no answer. Their voices sounded muffled, as if the house absorbed sound. They checked the bedrooms, beds made, clothes folded neatly, phones charging on nightstands, all showing full battery, no missed calls, no emergency alerts. In the living room, the television was on, a local news station, static image, muted sound. The anchor's mouth was frozen mid-word. They found coats by the door, boots lined up, still dry. No snow inside, no slush, no signs anyone had come or gone. Outside, the snow told the same story. No footprints leading to the house, no footprints leading away. Not buried, not erased, absent. They marked the time, documented everything. This wasn't the first strange house they'd found, but it was the first one that felt occupied. One rescuer noticed something odd. The thermostat was set to 72 degrees, not higher, not lower, exactly where someone would leave it. Another rescuer checked the basement. Dry, clean, no flooding. The furnace was running, connected to nothing. The gas line outside was severed, frozen solid. There was no fuel source, and yet the system worked. They regrouped in the kitchen. The food smelled good, too good. Like a family had just stepped away for a moment. One of them touched a plate, It was warm. Not reheated warm, recently served warm. That's when they noticed the chairs, pulled back slightly, as if people had stood up at the same time, all four. They checked the windows, snow pressed against the glass, undisturbed, no frost on the inside. A child's drawing was taped to the fridge, stick figures, a house, snow falling, and one figure standing outside, larger than the rest, colored in black. They didn't stay long after that. They couldn't explain it, and they didn't want to. The house was marked, logged, flagged for further investigation. That night, the storm returned, not as strong, but enough to bury tracks. In the morning, they went back. The house was still there, still warm, still lit. The food was still on the table, untouched, but something had changed. The chairs were pushed in now, perfectly aligned. The clock still read 6:17 p.m., still ticking. In the hallway, they found something new. Wet footprints, bare feet, leading from the bedrooms to the front door and stopping there. The door was still sealed by snow from the outside. Impossible. They followed the footprints anyway. They faded near the door, as if the floor had dried itself. One rescuer looked up. The coats by the door were gone. No one said anything. They left again. By the time authorities returned with specialists, the house was dark, cold, dead. No power, no heat. The food was spoiled. The clock had stopped. And this time, there were footprints, dozens of them, bare, overlapping, leading out of the house and disappearing into the snow. Locals say the house still appears during severe winter storms, always intact, always warm, always waiting. And rescue teams have learned something important. If you find a house where the heat is still on and no one is inside, leave immediately, because whatever kept them warm is no longer hungry. The lake froze early that year, earlier than usual, earlier than anyone expected. By mid-December, the surface was thick, pale, and solid, safe enough for trucks, safe enough for ice fishing. That's what everyone said. The fishermen arrived before dawn. Dark sky, no wind, the kind of silence that presses on your ears. They drilled holes, set up tents, lit small heaters. The ice didn't crack, didn't groan. Too quiet. The first one saw it by accident. He dropped his line, leaned forward, looked down into the black water, and froze. There was a shape beneath the ice. Not a reflection, not a shadow from above. Something deeper, long, blurred, moving slowly, directly beneath his feet. He stepped back. The shape stopped, perfectly still. He told himself it was a trick of the light, a current, a school of fish, his eyes adjusting to the dark. He leaned forward again. The shape moved. Slowly, deliberately, keeping pace with him. He pulled away fast this time, heart pounding, breath fogging the air. The shape stopped again. That was when he realized something worse. It wasn't swimming. It was walking. The movement wasn't smooth. It wasn't fluid. It shifted in segments, pausing, adjusting, like limbs finding their place. He called to the others. They laughed at first, joked about nerves, cold getting to him. One of them knelt, looked down through the ice. The shape stopped instantly, as if it knew. They all saw it then. A dark silhouette, vaguely human, too tall, too narrow, its head tilted upward, facing them. No one spoke. The heater hummed. Ice popped softly somewhere far away. The shape did not move. One of them whispered, Look at it. Another stepped backward. The shadow beneath the ice moved with him, matching the distance, maintaining position, always directly below. They tested it. One man walked 10 steps away. The shadow followed. Another ran. The shadow glided beneath the ice, not faster, not slower, exact. When someone stopped and looked down, the shape froze. That's when the rule formed. Unspoken, immediate. It only moved when you weren't watching it. Ice fishing tents zipped shut. People stood in tight clusters, eyes forward. No one looked down. They packed up quickly, hands shaking, lines abandoned, gear left behind. As they moved toward shore, the ice creaked, not cracking, not breaking, shifting. One of them glanced down by instinct, just for a second. The shadow was closer now, so close its outline pressed against the ice. The surface whitened around it, frost spreading outward like veins. Its head was directly beneath his boots, looking up. He screamed and stumbled backward. The ice held. The shadow stopped. They ran. Didn't look back. Didn't stop until they hit solid ground. Authorities were called. They checked the lake, found nothing. No cracks, no disturbances, no evidence of anything beneath the surface. The story spread anyway. Other fishermen started noticing things. A shape under the ice, always beneath them, always stopping when watched. Some thought it was mass hysteria, a shared hallucination, until someone stayed too long. He went alone. Early morning, clear ice, perfect conditions. He set up near the center of the lake. Cameras on, tripod steady. The footage showed the hole in the ice. Dark water, still. Then, a shadow slid into view. Slow, careful. The man leaned over. The shadow stopped. Minutes passed. The man didn't move, didn't blink. Neither did the shadow. His breathing grew shallow. The camera recorded it. Then his foot shifted slightly. The shadow surged upward. Not fast, not violent, inevitable. The ice whitened, cracked, not shattered, bent. The camera fell. The footage cut out. They found his gear days later, still set up, still running. No signs of a struggle, no body. The ice beneath his hole was gone, not broken, gone. Open water in the middle of solid ice. Since then, the lake freezes differently. The ice forms thick everywhere except one place, a dark patch, perfectly round, always avoided. Locals warn newcomers, if you fish there, never look down for too long. Never turn your back on the ice. And if you see something moving beneath you, do not run, do not scream, do not look away. Because it moves when you don't see it, and it learns how close you are. They say it's still there, waiting under the ice, learning the shape of people, practicing standing just beneath the surface.